r/AskReddit by Reddit. What is the worst restaurant experience you ever had? I've posted this before, but this is definitely it. Many years ago, I got a job as a line cook in a Mexican restaurant. The side of the walk-in cooler used for beer kegs, etc. for the bar served as a wall on the kitchen area. This was a really old cooler. The interior was wood rather than stainless steel, and it was in really poor condition from years of beer spills and the like. One night after we had closed, the dishwasher and I were cleaning the kitchen. As I was scrubbing the line, I looked up and noticed a couple of antennae peeking out of a seam in the cooler's side. The seam was horizontal about 6 feet off the ground, 1/8 of an inch thick, and ran the length of the cooler. I pointed out the feelers to the dishwasher. He grabbed a can of Easy Off oven cleaner and told me to stand back. He then proceeded to spray the length of the seam with the oven cleaner. I still sometimes dream of what I saw next. This was over 30 years ago. Not hundreds or thousands, but tens of thousands of cockroaches came flooding out of the crack, pouring down the walls. It was like a dark brown waterfall of bugs. I stood there staring at the seemingly never-ending torrent of nasty insects fleeing the caustic oven cleaner. It probably continued for 10 or 15 seconds before the tide even began to lose some of its density. The floor of the kitchen was seething with scurrying critters. I grabbed my jacket, clocked out, and never went back. Made them mail my last paycheck. Don't know how the hell they had ever passed a health inspection. The restaurant had been there for decades. It was a neighborhood favorite. They unceremoniously closed a few months later. When I worked at Pizza Hut, there was a woman who insisted on buying a meat lover's pizza with no meat. That's how she said it. And if you offered her a cheese pizza, you'd better have plugged your butthole, because here comes the thunder. Try to explain to her it's a cheese pizza? Nope. Try to explain to her it's more expensive the way she's ordering it? Nope. Nothing worked. See, I've given up on these types since my stint at McDonald's. I'd like a cheeseburger with no cheese. Alright, just to clarify, you said a cheeseburger with no cheese. Yes. Alrighty then. Anything else? I just call it one of the many stupid taxes in the world. Went to a place with my boyfriend and sister. The waitress got my order wrong, but it was no problem. I'm not picky, so I was just going to settle for the burger she gave me. She said, no, we can cook you a new one. I'll eat the one you have now. I said no, I'll eat it, and not only that, I already put my hands on it. She grabbed the burger from me anyway. I didn't want my boyfriend and sister's food to get cold, so I told them to eat. I waited another 20 minutes for my new burger. Our waitress stood in the kitchen doorway eating the burger she took from me. By the time my new burger came out, everyone was done eating, and I found a hair in the food. Holy crap, this is terrible. Did you talk to the manager? Sounds to me like the woman put your order in wrong, because she just wanted a free burger. I ordered a hamburger and fries. This is a New York steak with a lobster tail. I'm allergic to fish. Why is there caviar? I was just so over it. We left. When we paid, she didn't take the tip. As a server myself, I understand what it's like to be hungry and surrounded by food. I just think it was really inappropriate to tell me she was going to eat it, then proceeded to eat it in front of me. When I was in high school, my friends and I went to Taco Bell. We ordered and paid and sat down. They called our names and handed us a tray. Sat down and start eating. All of a sudden the manager came over and looked at my friend and says, you didn't pay for that, while he was in the middle of taking a bite out of a burrito. He said, what? And again she said, you didn't pay for that, and proceeds to snatch the burrito out of his hands right while he was in the middle of eating it. She didn't explain, didn't ask for a receipt, didn't give him the opportunity to pay for it, just snatched it. My other friend calls Taco Bell corporate headquarters right there in the store and complained about her. She just sat behind the counter and gave us her name. No apology or anything. When I was about 10, my mom, younger brother and I went to a pizza place around the corner from a house that we'd never eaten at before. We sat down, and right before the food came out, we noticed a roach on the wall in the booth behind us. My mom was like, okay, nope, and gathered our things to leave. The waitress came out with our food and just said, sorry, they sprayed today, and then got into a yelling match with my mom over paying for the food. The whole time we are noticing other bugs in the restaurant on the walls and stuff. Lord knows how many bugs were in the duck-in kitchen. In the food. Gag. Woman threatened to call the cops. Mom threatened to call the health department. We walked out and drove off. Mom called the health department anyway. The place also delivered. I wonder how many people got roach pizzas without even knowing it. Maybe that black dot on your pizza wasn't an olive. Our pizza did have what looked like bay leaves on it, which are suspiciously roach shaped. Duck-in puke. Ain't no way in duck we were gonna eat that crap after seeing bugs on the walls. That waitress was ridiculous. No wonder the place was deserted on a Friday night. Shoulder known. If you don't know what shakshuka is, it basically tomato sauce with cooked sunny side up in it. You break the eggs into the sauce and they get cooked inside. I went to a coffee shop with my mom and I ordered shakshuka. She ordered yogurt with fruit or whatever. Now, as I mentioned before, the eggs must be cooked in the sauce. I got raw eggs, like transparent raw. You cannot and shouldn't eat it. I told the waitress to take it back to get it cooked, and after a while she brings it back slightly cooked. It was still pretty transparent. It's the one of the most common foods in my country, and whoever was in the kitchen couldn't make it. It's like getting raw spaghetti. Also, the fruit my mom ordered was obviously cut yesterday or even before. Nasty. This place is now closed. This happened when I was around 18. I went with a couple of friends to get some completos downtown. Now for the people that aren't familiar with Chilean cuisine, a completo Italiano is a hot dog in a bigger bun laden with tomato, avocado, mashed, and mayo. The three colors allegedly reminiscent of the Italian flag. Anyway, I ordered a completo Italiano, and my friends ordered something else. This was a while ago. I can't remember every detail. The food eventually arrives, and I look excitedly at my completo Italiano. I take a huge bite, but I'm led kinda disappointed at the avocado. It's not that I don't like the stringy avocados, but I'd rather have the non-stringy kind. I say duck it. It's only a few strands. I'll just take them out. I grabbed one of the strands of avocado fiber only to horribly find that it wasn't a strand, it was a leg. Apparently, I almost munched down a fully grown moth. I'm like, yikes, this is gross, and I call the waiter. He asks if everything is alright, and I relay the story to him. He asks me puzzled, would you like for me to bring you a new one? Me, pause. Waiter, pause. Me, yes. They didn't even count my meal. Duckers. Went to a Red Robin with a friend for dinner one night. He orders a root beer float with the appetizer. It gets to the table, and he starts to drink it. Craps flat and tastes like stale syrup, and the ice cream tasted awful, so he eats half the whipped cream off the top. Waiter stops by our table to bring the app out, and my friend sends his flat back and just orders a shake instead. Tells the guy why he's sending it back. No fuss. Cool. Right up until we see the waiter stop at another table and drop the same float we just sent back with the same ducking straw still inside onto another table for another customer. Did not even try to spruce it up, or even flat out replace it. Just served it to them as their drink, and said the whipped cream slipped off on the way, like he did not just walk away from our table with it. We then witnessed another server transferring fries from one table to another. Again, fries that had been touched and eaten by a different table. It's been 2 years, and I still haven't ever gone back to another Red Robin. Edit to at, before anyone else gets upset, we did say something to both tables immediately after each incident. They both promptly got their checks and left. Our Red Robins don't do anything that egregious, but the service always sucks. I'll get the crap tequila it from now on. Love me some campfire sauce, but forget dining in. It should not take 45 minutes to get a duck in grilled cheese when the restaurant is barely a quarter full. My old college Bible study group liked to go to Applebees a lot. I honestly never really liked eating there myself but tagged along. This night I got their club sandwich. First go around, the damn cheese still had the paper on it. I'll let our server know, and she went to get me a new one. The damn meat still had the paper on it. I again let the server know, and again she heads back to get a new one. I kid you not, both the meat and cheese this time had paper still on it. It was at this point the server started getting frustrated with whole situation and started getting passive aggressive with me. She took the sandwich back again, and a few minutes later brought out the same sandwich which still had my bite taken out of it, and the paper had not been removed. I flagged down the server again, and she stormed over and just said in a rude tone, "What?" And I explained the sandwich still had paper on the meat and cheese. She flipped out on me and said, "Remove it yourself and eat the thing sandwich already." I stood up, walked to the front, and asked to speak with the manager. After I explained what was going on, he went to get the cook and service side and was surprised to hear that the third time the cook, preparer, had done it on purpose out of spite. I'm not sure what happened to the server and cook, but our entire meal that night was carved. Wow. Some people are spiteful and petty for literally zero reason. I wasn't even mad, lol, I just wanted a damn sandwich with no paper. Thank you for watching Reddit. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more r/AskReddit videos. Share your stories in the comment section below.